A cat popped in. Hi, Paul. Hi, friends, and welcome back to MONTTFIBERS. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jackie, and I am a knitter, crocheter, fiber enthusiast based in New York City. Half the time I do these videos, I've forgotten to introduce myself, so trying to make sure I get that up front. But today I am going to start the process of going through my entire yarn stash, doing a little flash my stash with you guys. This is the second video in my 2025 D-Stash series. If you haven't watched the first one already, I'll put it up in the cards. But I basically am taking 2025 to try to really focus on my stash, knit from stash, not acquire anything more, and this is going to be kind of my setup video. So I am planning to take all of the yarn off my wall, which you have, which you can see up there. I have some in these like baskets and stuff behind me. And I'm going to kind of organize, make sure everything is inside of my Notion, which I will do on my iPad, but it's charging right now, so I can't totally show it to you. And then we'll see where we go from there. I plan to do 2 flash my stash videos, breaking up my stash into 2 sections, minis and fingering weight / mohair, and then the rest of my yarn basically, because I think I have the most fingering weight yarn, and then I can throw mohair in there, but we'll see what happens because I haven't updated my yarn stash like in my Notion in a while, so I might have completely lost track of what I actually own and need to reassess how these videos go. But I wanted to kind of check in with you guys before I got started and welcome you all to my channel. If you found me from that first 2025 D-Stash video, thank you so much for coming back. I'm really excited for this journey, and it seems like a lot of you are also on this de-stashing or stash down journey, and I'm really excited to share and see what you guys are doing and get your advice on what I can do to bring my I was going to say collection. It is a collection. To get my collection down to a more manageable number. Now, I feel the need to emphasize that I don't feel shame or want anybody to feel shame about their yarn stash or how much yarn they do or do not have. My personal goals is to knit some of this down because I loved it once, or give it away to those who will still love it, mostly because I'm moving and planning for a wedding and hope to have a baby soon. So I'm trying to work through projects for myself so that when a baby hopefully comes, I can be knitting for them and not feel the tug between the two things. That's really my primary goal, and it's not because I feel any type of shame about how much yarn I have. I am very lucky that I travel for work, and I've gotten a lot of this stuff while traveling as, you know, travel mementos, as souvenirs, and that is still really important to me. So anyway, I can talk a little bit more about that as I go through each thing. But I wanted to say that up front, that I don't want you to feel any shame about how much yarn you do or do not have. I feel no shame. I'm just happily going through my yarn and trying to figure out projects for it so that I'm not stumped when I'm itching to cast on something. But anyway, let's get started pulling some of this stuff off the wall. Okay, so I actually have way too much to kind of put everything on the floor at once. So I'm going to start with these 2 shelves, make sure that everything in this pile is logged in my Notion, and then I'll tackle the wall. And maybe as I'm going through, I'll see if there's anything I can add to my D-Stash pile, which is non-existent right now. But yeah, I'm just gonna get into that. I don't know if I want to film all of that. I guess I suppose I will, but I will probably speed it up so that you guys don't have to watch all of it. Okay, briefly, this is my Notion. Basically, it is the exact same thing that Ben Knitter has shared. I can link all of this down below. It's a Excel sheet that they released to help you keep track of your yarn. I just rebuilt it in Notion because my whole life is in Notion, so I knew I wouldn't use the Excel sheet the way that it was meant to be. So putting it here, basically I have everything divided up by my favorite yarn dyers. So I did modify, so this isn't in the other, in the Excel sheet obviously, but up here you can see I have my favorite yarn dyers, and when I click each one, like Super Glow, that's all my Super Glow yarn, and then I can scroll down and see everything. So I don't have it for every single individual dyer, like a page, and then I have one page that has everything. So what I'm going to do is just go through this, make sure that everything I have is logged, and then kind of organize and put it back and update some things. Like I know I used a couple balls of these for a gift, so I can make sure that it's updated in my Notion. And that's what I'm gonna do now. All right, so I've done a lot since we last checked in. All right, so here I have put all of my lace weight that was on those shelves. This is a bunch of mohair that I've wanted to use for a sweater but haven't yet. And then in here is some more indie dyed mohairs and alpacas. And this is my fingering from just those two shelves. So I think I'm gonna have to be a little cutthroat here and figure out what the plan is for a lot of these. I did decide I'm going to get rid of this one skein. I had gotten it as kind of like a backup to finish a cardigan, but I didn't end up needing it, and now I just have this one random skein, so I might try to sell this to someone who can use it. This is what it looks like. I have my minis and everything left here that I'm going to go through right now, and yeah, so that's where I ended up. Okay, so I think that's everything from that shelving unit. Let me get all of the stuff I'm planning to put back up there. I am not going to put all the fingering weight back on that shelf just yet. I think I'm going to need to figure out some organizing for my fingering weight yarns, because I was thinking I want to put them up on the wall, and then the rest of the things that are like DK or bulky or whatever can go into some of the shelving here. Just because, like I've mentioned a million times now, I have the most fingering weight, and it's easier for me to kind of see it that way when it's up there versus like, you know, I know I only have 2 skeins of like Aran weight pink yarn for a sweater I was making. And so I could know for sure where that is and go after it in a bucket or something like this. So I'm going to take a little break, get some food, and then I will return to finish the rest of this organizing. But I'll film myself putting this stuff away first. Back from my lunch, folks, and I'm going to take everything off this wall, put it on the floor, and organize it by weight. And then we can take it from there. And I think anything that I decide to give away or sell, I'm just going to put aside for now, and I can talk about those at the very, very end. But yeah, there's a lot going on here, and hopefully I can make some tough decisions and get rid of stuff that I don't need anymore. But I'm not going to wear my microphone for this because it's attached to the camera. All right, seeing it like this really gives me some perspective. That's a huge pile, huge pile. And now I'm going to go through it. yeah, we'll see how much I get rid of. And I will probably talk through a couple things, but again, I'm saving my specific pattern recs or pattern ideas for when I am going through each individual skein. So this is just me organizing. I'm not gonna try to stop and talk about each individual color. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is just quickly go through, try to make some decisions just based on my gut on whether or not I want to keep something, and then organize it into weight, and then I will take it from there and we'll see what happens. So I'll speed through that whole thing. This is what I've got. This is DK weight things. My mohair / lace weight, the biggest pile of all fingering, which you can see is humongous. These are leftover scraps, so maybe I'll get rid of some of these. We'll see. Or see if I can come up with patterns for them. I know, for example, though, this is a full skein of this same mohair that I just used and then didn't end up using. And there's Paul. Yeah, I ripped it out. I was using it for a sweater with this fingering weight yarn, which is so stunning. But I didn't like the way it was working up. So I'm going to keep this too. Actually, I know I really want that. Paul is just joining. So these are some maybe skeins. I don't know if I want to get rid of them, but looking at it, I think I can pass along these. These are things that I purchased with a specific project in mind that are for sure already a project, so I don't have to even think about them. This one I think I'll end up using for a pair of my Lunar New Year socks. And then this is the pile of stuff I'm willing to sell and part with. It's a good start. It's definitely not anywhere near where I want it to be, but I am going to, I think, take another pass through all of this and just make sure, and then I can show you guys what I'm getting rid of. And then before I put everything back up on the wall, I will go through each yarn. All right, so I just finished filming going through all of the DK and mohair yarn that I have, and I'm going to be organizing that up on the wall, so I'll take you along on that journey. And then again, I'll pause, go through my fingering weight, come back, and then I'll end the video once I have everything up on the wall. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so obviously the lighting and everything is different now. It is now 6:26. I had to take a break to work. Obviously, I took a break for lunch. It took forever to film my fingering weight yarn, which you'll see why when I'm putting it all up on the board. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little check-in. Now I'm going to start hanging up my fingering weight yarn. Again, just to recap, over here is projects I'm ready to cast on, basically. So like this, it's kind of off screen a little, but that's like, okay, I'm ready to cast that on, or I definitely have a project for it. So the ones on this side are going to be that. I just threw all my mohair up in that corner. We'll see if it stays there, but I think it's probably fine. And then up in this corner is all of my non-fingering, and then basically everything else in between will be fingering. And maybe what I'll do is I'll move the mohair over there and keep the rest fingering. Actually, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I'm gonna just take the mic off and watch some TV and listen to an audiobook or something while I'm doing this, and you can just be along for this journey, and I'll speed it up so obviously you're not watching it in real time. All right, guys, can you believe it? I am done. Okay, let me get a little closer. I feel really good with how this all looks now. Yeah, I'm just very happy about it. Oh my gosh, isn't it so adorable? It's still a lot of yarn. That's what I'm trying to work through this year, and thank you guys so much for sticking through this long video. The light is like quite bright on me here, so sorry about that, but I think that's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what you might have gotten out of this besides just seeing how much yarn I have and organizing it. I have a big bag of like stuff I'm going to be, you know, selling and getting rid of now, which I'm really happy I had the opportunity to like go through my yarn and take the time to do that. Yeah, if you liked this, please like and subscribe and stick along for this journey. It's only just begun. I really want to try to do like more seasonal and deeper dive knitting pattern videos to help with choosing what each of these skeins is going to be. So look forward to that. But in my individual videos where I'm talking about each skein of yarn that I have in the different weights, I talk just generally about some patterns that I have in mind, things that I have planned already, stuff that's already planned, but I'm going to be doing like individual videos. For example, like I know I want to do one that's one skein projects that I'm looking to do, and then I know I want to do one that's 2 skein projects that I'm looking to do. I'll probably do some seasonal stuff for spring, summer, winter, fall. Do I know my seasons? I don't know. So just stay on the lookout for that. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be really good for me to work through my entire collection. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe if you're interested in staying along for this journey. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.